Let's turn our attention now to Syria. Defect or we will track you down. That is the ultimatum a Syrian rebel leader is giving Bashar al-Assad's army. General Salim Idris defected to the Free Syrian Army last July. And he's now warning his former colleagues that the rebels know who they are, where they live, and what they've done. General Idris joins me now on the phone from Istanbul. General Idris, thanks for being with us. And I want to read a portion of the speech you gave on the anniversary of the uprising, March 15th. We know who you are, we know where you live, and we have a full record of your crimes, but we are willing to give you a last chance on this second anniversary of the revolution. Is this an amnesty, General Idris, or a threat?
Yes, it is an amnesty, and we like to tell all officers and soldiers who are still in the army that if they decide to join us, that they will be accepted and there will be no justice for them all if they have clean hands.
So if they have clean hands, one of the other things you said is you are giving them 1 month, and if they do not come to you, that you will publish a blacklist with names, ranks, and crimes committed, and then you say we will track you down and bring you to military courts.
Yes, because now what is going on in Syria is very dangerous. The army is killing the people, is destroying the country, and we are fighting since 2 years, and these soldiers and officers must decide to join the Free Syrian Army to defend the country, to stop killing, to stop massacres. And if they still fight with Bashar and his army and his regime, that is a crime, and they must be brought to the justice. After the 1 month period of time, they will be blacklisted and they will be brought to justice.
And have you heard from any of these Assad army fighters or leaders since you've issued this offer of this amnesty offer?
Yes, there are some officers and soldiers who defect every day. Every day there is a defection from the army. And we hope that all other officers and soldiers simply think about the future of their country, about the future of their families. They have to join to the Free Syrian Army. The Syrian army now, under the command of Bashar and his regime, is not the Syrian Arab army who has to defend the country. They are defending the murderers. They are defending those who kill people, who destroy the country. That is our point of view, and that's why we like them to join us, to come to us.
General Idris, a few days ago I spoke with a researcher from Amnesty International, Donatella Rivero. She just spent about a couple of weeks in Syria. When she came back, she said, although the magnitude of the violence and the potential crimes against humanity are committed by the regime, that, quote, there is an escalation in abuses by the armed opposition in Syria. Kidnappings, criminality, torture. Do you have any control over what these armed fighters are doing?
Yes, I would like to tell you that the fighters of the Free Syrian Army who are fighting for freedom and democracy, these fighters don't do crimes, don't do massacres. They don't kill citizens who don't have to do with Bashar and his troops. And what sometimes announced or published in some newspapers or other media, it is not really true. There is some kinds of propaganda that attempts to say the fighters of the Free Syrian Army are doing crimes, are doing massacres, but the reality is not so.
Okay. Well, I know firsthand of kidnappings for ransom committed by the Free Syrian Army fighters in some cases, and these human rights researchers are saying this is a very dangerous situation because some of the armed opposition are engaging in practices that could be considered war crimes.
Yes, we have trained a lot of officers who are working in our brigades and battalions. We train them about international humanitarian law, and they train their soldiers. They give them an idea about crimes, about how they have to deal with other fighters from the regime, how to behave in the battlefield. And those battalions or those commanders who kidnap or arrest people or arrest foreign journalists are really, we see them as criminals, and we don't protect them, and we don't try or like to ask the others to protect them. We like to bring them to the justice, and because that is not legal, and we don't like to have any thing to support them.
All right, General Salim Idris, thank you very much for joining us here on CNN International with that amnesty offer to the Assad army fighters extended by the Free Syrian Army.